Welcome back to highlights from the championship match of the 2012 United States Chess League season. This is FM Mike Klein reporting. We had a series of firsts in the finals match. We had two first-time teams make it there, and we also had the first 4 seed to ever win it all. The Seattle Sluggers emerged victorious after the spot start by 11-year-old mini-slugger Roland Fang. He produced victory on board 4 and paved the road for his team to win their first championship in the franchise's 7-year history. After showing some keen positional understanding that belied his age, Fang went after International Master Richard Costigan's weak pawns in the middle game. Fang was giving up more than 40 years of chess experience to Costigan, but he had no trouble finding a few tactics to make his advantage decisive. After initially delaying the capture of the d-pawn, Fang marched his king in and pounced after Costigan's rook c6. Rook takes d5 dismantled Black's last trump, his center pawns. Bishop takes d5 would mean losing everything, so Costigan opted for rook c2 check. But soon after, Fang liquidated further, then steered for calm king and pawn waters with the finishing move bishop takes e4 check, bishop takes e4, g4 check. Black resigned a few moves later. At almost the exact same time that Fang simplified into an easily winning endgame, Board 1 agreed to truce before major hostilities began. After Grandmaster Varuzhin Akobian played his backup opening, the Caro-Kann, he and Grandmaster Sergei Ehrenberg reached a pretty typical structure. With his team about to be down 1-0, Ehrenberg made the surprising decision to repeat moves. The crowd was expecting the knight to jump to g4 with ideas of continuing on to f6 or h6, but instead Ehrenberg didn't see a follow-up and instead bailed out. Grandmaster Sam Shanklin, himself a Caro specialist, was watching online and confirmed that Black was indeed okay. But the draw made the match 1.5 to 1/2 for Seattle as they crept closer to the necessary 2.5 points needed for the title. Ehrenberg was probably counting on the inventors getting the full point on board too, as they were better there for most of the game. Senior Master Will Fischer, getting the start because FM Tom Bartel was playing in another event, got an early advantage thanks to International Master Georgy Orlov's misstep 15 g4. After opening the f-file, Fischer found knight takes f4, with the idea of bishop takes f4, rook takes f4, queen takes f4, bishop g5, pinning the queen. Orlov threw a second pawn at white, and the two played very quickly for 30 more moves. Orlov kept pressing the open space near Black's king, while Fischer kept consolidating and advancing his connected passers. After avoiding queen trades despite several offers, Orlov found the amazing resource 59 queen e3. Fischer paused for the longest period all game, as Orlov's surprise queen trade would result in a draw, since neither king can assist his pawns without allowing their opponents to promote first. Fischer did well to keep life in the position, but the endgame was clearly drawn despite the remaining 40-plus moves played. So the only chance for Philadelphia was for their team MVP, FIDE Master Dov Gorman, to continue his run on board 3. Having not lost all season, Gorman needed to win against the similarly consistent National Master Josh Sinanin. The problem for Gorman was the passivity of his pieces, as Sinanin had control of all the open files and diagonals. Already in a difficult position, Gorman played king d4, which allowed the breakthrough e5 check, since his f4 pawn is now pinned. After Black played e takes f4, White's g3 pawn was now double pinned, meaning Gorman had to try desperate measures to eke out a victory. Sinanin didn't have to win, he just had to not lose, so he calmly eliminated all of White's pawns. After the last was captured, it was an elementary win, meaning the final margin was 3-1, and the Sluggers earned the title of 2012 United States Chess League champions. In their 3-match playoff run, Seattle got past 2 teams where they didn't have draw odds, then beat the winningest team in the finals to become the first 4 seed to win the title. Thanks to all the fans of the United States Chess League for following this season over the last 3 months, and be sure to check uschessleague.com this week for interviews with several of the champions. We'd like to thank our sponsors one last time, PokerStars, the ICC, and Chess.com.